and then to say you're pretty, but are you pretty enough for
Yeah,
me? When
that's
your ass
yeah.
can't keep a fucking haircut, you ain't got your hair rebraided yet, your nails the fucking grew out. If you gonna put the polish on, ho, make sure the shit is up to date. Like Mecca, please, I'm done with Mecca after these batch of episodes. Best believe. Welcome back in, everyone. This is Black Girls Talking TV, where we bring the group chat to life and discuss all your favorite TV shows. Today is all about Married at First Sight, season 20. We are specifically talking about Mecca and BelléJolie from episodes 13, 14, and 15. We were originally going to do 2 parts, breaking up the couples, but baby, we was chit-chatting about Mecca, so I think you're going to enjoy the conversation here, and make sure you check out our other parts after this. I am Victoria. I'm one of your hosts, and I'm a psychologist.
I'm Kamaria. I'm an attorney and a pop culture writer. And before we get into this episode, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and hype us up. Be in the comments, all the good things, okay? We are a growing channel, and we love your support. Thanks for coming to rock with us every week. So let's get into this, because and Mecca to the front, okay? Mecca and BelléJolie to the front.
Motherfucking front. And no, Bella, get behind me. Bella, get behind me, okay? Mecca, bring your ass to the front, and Mecca alone, okay?
Yeah. So let me say this off rip. The issue that I have continuously raised is literally whether he's attracted to her. And for me, that's the issue that bothers me. I still feel how I feel about all his trauma and what he's working through. I think people can give him grace. Not grace, but yeah, grace. Like, I feel like that's something he's never shown up being very, what is it called? Like, malicious with it. He's operating in a way that he seems like he's trying to get better. And so I think be patient with it. I personally do. Now, the issue about attraction to her, that's my problem. And I've said that before in the beginning. I was like, is he attracted to her? Because I think Belle deserves somebody who's attracted to her. And then I think for men and women, it's very different. Like, if a man is not attracted, it's like, whoo. So for me, that's what's giving me pause. Like, I think they can work through all the other stuff, but that's the issue for me. And I remember watching the beginning of it with my mom, and she was like, what she said, and I see it now. She was like, first episode, she said, he's cocky. And I was like, you think? She's like, yeah. So he's cocky. And I didn't see that then, but I see it now. And I think that's the thread of where we are with this for me, that's problematic. It's like, what are we talking about here? Like, you're not attracted to her. What are we talking about?
Yeah, I don't think he's cocky. I think he has a very weak and fragile ego, and what he presents to others might be this very, like, boisterous or grandiose sense of self, this high energy mask that he puts on. But I actually think underneath is somebody very, very insecure, fragile, weak-minded, I should say. And yeah, he has a lot of maturity that he needs to grow into. I still think the piece on attraction is him trying to communicate that he does not want to be hurt. It's like, I'm gonna hurt you first before you hurt me. Now, he did mention in, like, the preview, we saw that he's talking about boob size and would want her to get a boob job and whatnot. And so I think it's twofold. Like, there probably is a lack of attraction, because if you a titty man or you a ass man, whatever you is, I've heard, like, that's just what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can have the flattest of asses. If that man is a titty man and you rocking some EFGs, baby, you in there. You know what I'm saying? So for him, and that clearly is a thing. He talking about wanting his wife to get surgery. It's crazy.
It's actually crazy. It is actually crazy.
Insane. Very much so insane.
Yeah. I'm like, I do not knock it for anyone. This may be a controversial statement, but I would love for women to not do, like, cosmetic surgeries, because it's like your life is on the line. Yeah. I understand that it makes people feel better, but I feel like part of a spiritual experience is accepting where you are, who you are, and being in that space. But that's just my philosophy. I ain't putting that on everybody else or whatever. But I do feel, especially since what was it, DC Young Fly's wife, when she passed, like getting her,
Oh
I
yeah.
was just like, this is scary. You know what I'm saying? This
Yeah,
process is
it is
scary.
scary.
But I have
I mean,
family.
going under the knife for anything is scary. I don't think people
Yes.
understand
Yeah.
the threat to their life that they're, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
we are, especially as women, we're talking about how putting our body through pregnancy is a threat, but you want to
Yes.
put your body through all the different makeovers
Yeah.
and not see it as the same thing, to me is a little crazy, because there could be lifelong complications, as other people have stated
Yeah.
in their plastic surgery journey and trying to get things removed
Yeah.
because of the pain and the
Yeah.
discomfort and the bacteria
Yeah.
and all the things, the infections that are growing in their bodies because they're putting foreign objects and foreign substances in their bodies. But Bella, she does not seem like somebody who's going under the knife
Yeah.
for any
And
man. So
I would never want her to go underneath that life for him. You know,
yeah,
and it's not even for him.
yeah,
It's for any man. For him. It's not because
yeah,
like I said, I'm Mecca. I'm not even knocking Mecca as a person for how he feels about her. You attracted to who you attracted to, right? But the constant bringing it up, I am knocking him for that. Like, that's a problem for me. But I also recognize that, like, how are you supposed to bring it up in this process? Like, even like with Nikki and Sean, when Sean was like, oh, I'm just realizing that you're not attracted to me. And he was like, 6 days in, you didn't tell me. And it's like, I think that's appropriate. She's telling you at the appropriate time. And so for him, it's like, when and how do you say this to someone? Because if regular life, the person's gonna know you're attracted to them because you reached out to them, you tried to like hit on them.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But in this situation, she doesn't. But I definitely think it's the boobs, and it's so funny that that Love of Basketball episode when they was doing a little play. That's the first time I realized. I was like, oh, she does not have much. She's in the itty bitty titty committee. You know what I'm saying? Like, she on the team, and I was like,
Yeah.
And that's what the thought came to me. I said, I wonder if it's the boobs. Because even the way he describes her, he's like, she's very pretty. But, and
Yeah.
I wonder if it's the boobs, you know? I wonder if it's the boobs.
Yeah.
Like, period.
Um,
Just like,
yeah.
not even like her face. Not even like that he wants her face to be prettier. I wonder if it's literally exclusively the boobs.
Yeah, I mean, it could be and like I said, if you ask man, titty man, you need, you want what
Yeah,
you
what you
want,
want.
It's like a height for Nikki, or being,
Mm-hmm.
muscular for some people, whatever. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
muscles, you can kind of change that. But either way, I think in this experience, it is normal to be in a situation where you are with somebody that you are not 100% attracted to, because, like you said, the nature of the situation. However, when it comes to speaking on it, it
Mm-hmm.
better not be in a damn group setting where I'm
Yeah.
finding out that you over here talking about something. I think you're pretty, but is she pretty enough? Like, you better not drop that bomb on me in front of everybody, for
Yes.
damn sure.
Yes.
And it goes back to what I said in the last drop of episodes, that Mecca just be talking. He gets emboldened when other people are saying things. And now he's like, oh, it like validates whatever experiences he may or may not be having, or there's vocabulary out there now that he can attach himself to. And so he uses it. He's just like, yes, I feel the same way. Just like Felipe with passion, or yes, attraction, of course. Yes, I understand because I feel the same way. It's like, you can't use these experiences to find the vocabulary or to find the words that you need to express. And when he's with Bella, it's like he's constantly fishing for what is supposed to be felt through her.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the birthday thing. At first I was like, oh, this is cute, until he started saying, oh, you love me now. I know you love me now. Like, I know you're so in love with me. How could you not be in love with me? It's like, or just talk about how you feel. You're constantly searching for something, whatever emotional experience you feel like you're supposed to be having, through her words, through her actions,
Mm-hmm.
and not solely focusing on yourself
Yeah.
and how you're feeling and being open and honest. Or what I feel like it also is, you don't have the vocabulary to explain it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that because, like, the birthday thing, I was like, see, Mecca, this is why you're my fave. You know, aside from Cameron. Cameron is like A1. But side note, I want to do a little comparison in a moment about to Mecca and Cameron, because I think there's a little double standard. Because, like, look, but I'll get to that in a second. But on this on the birthday, I was like, oh, this is so beautiful. I thought it was so thoughtful. I thought it was so great. And I was like, see, this is the him that can show up. But the fundamental issue, like I said, is the attract. Like, to me, I'm not trying to say make attraction be everything, but I guess what I'm trying to say is that it's one thing to be working through your whatever your issues are, because everybody's bringing issues, and that's when I speak about perfectionism, it's like people act like you're not bringing issues. I'm not. But you're a therapist. You're gonna bring issues. You know what I'm saying? Therapists are not. You're bringing issues. I'm bringing issues. Everybody's bringing issues, and I'm like, that's just Mecca's issues. He got clearly all his trauma. That conversation about peeing in the bed, trauma. Okay, when you have 10-year-olds and that are dealing with peeing in the bed, sometimes that's about trauma. When there's like sometimes,
yeah, but he said 13.
yeah, and then you talking about 13. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about,
Yeah.
so it's just like there's trauma here. And it's cool if that's not your ministry as a woman and you like, I'm not dealing with the trauma men, that's cool. But I don't think we have to villainize the trauma men for their expression, especially when they are taking the feedback and being like, oh, okay, da da da. But to your point with this birthday thing, right? And I'm not saying that to you because I know you're not, I don't think you're villainizing him. I speak a lot of times in response to like the public opinion of Mecca. And I do feel like they're villainizing him for just his trauma and how he's showing up. But as he's showing up, he's like seeing it and he's like, oh, okay, like I'm going to operate in a different way, or I'm going to try to, or whatever. But to your point about the birthday dinner and afterwards, I was like, yeah, you're hiding, Mecca, and you're sitting here and not leaning forward into like what could be vulnerability and trying to put it on her. So just like what you were saying, you try to put the experience of like, where are we, on her. She got to stake the claim on the mountain and put her pick up there and be like, this is where we at. And then he like, all right. And then he's there. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, he got to deal with that just across the board. He has to deal with that. It's a problem, you know?
Yeah, I am 110% off of Mecca after these episodes. Yeah, this is just not for him. Point blank period. He has a lot of work that he needs to do. I don't think this is fair for Bella. I actually think in this episode she started to confirm what I was thinking is, and this is exhausting, you know? She said Bella outside of this would not deal with half of the shit that
she did say
I've
that.
been
She
dealing
did say
with.
that.
She said that, and she also said
But I wonder if it's centered around this piece, you know? Like, I wonder if it's the attraction piece, because that's when she always flips out. It's never around like, oh, he needs too much reaffirming or whatever. It's always like in the beginning when she said, oh, he said I like him more than, that's when I'm gonna step back. I'm gonna take my steps. It's never at the other time. So I really do think it's this, because that's a big emotional weight for women. Women are taught that we need to be pretty, we need to be this, we need to be that. And to have your man just be like, yeah, you failing in this category for me, that's a big hit. That's a big hit. So I think that's the part she's talking about. But, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's the part that's easier to respond to. I think also we have to remember that her being on this television show, I think there is still that innate protection that we can sometimes have around black men. And so she's not speaking negatively or like completely talking about how he's showing up in this relationship is making her feel, because she knows it's tied to a lot of his traumas. And so oh, you're telling me I'm not attractive? Like, that's an easier thing to respond to and say, oh, hell no, because now it's like you're willing to embarrass me, and I have been protecting your ass, standing up for your ass, standing next to your ass, walking in front of your ass, and now all of a sudden you're telling me in front of everybody else and these cameras that you're actually not attracted to me. Like, that's actually crazy. And then to say you're pretty, but are you pretty enough for me?
That's
when your ass can't keep a fucking haircut, you ain't got your hair rebraided yet, your nails done fucking grew out. If you gonna put the polish on, ho, make sure the shit is up to date. Like, Mecca, please, I'm done with Mecca. After these batch of episodes, best believe he had like maybe 5% of hope in the last batch, but this one, done. You're done. You're done. Okay, straight up.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I would say that I am done as well, but not like I said. It's not for the trauma stuff. It's literally this piece of like the attraction and get back to the double standard. That's where with Cameron, I feel like there is a big double standard. The way Cameron shows up, like there's a lot of insecurities, and we'll speak to that. But there's a lot of insecurities, and Michelle shows up as a reassuring force for him. And the reason why I feel like we don't get on Cameron is because Cameron likes her. You get what I'm saying? It's like Cameron is here. He's attracted to her. He's all in on that. You get what I'm saying? But he shows up with his trauma, whatever the fuck is causing him to be. I don't know if he's dealing with depression or having a perspective as like glass half full, and she's having to coach him up. He's like, I'm scared about like whether we have what happens in the future. She's coaching him up. Michelle is being what Bella, they're just being a little softer with it, but they are being the same. But the difference is because Cameron chooses her. And that's the issue that I have with Mecca and all of this, because it's like you're not choosing her, you're not physically attracted to her. So it's like I can work with the trauma, and that's why I guess I want to tease out and separate, because I feel like a lot of people are villainizing him for the trauma, and it's like you can have issues. We're all going to come to situations with issues. That's not the problem. It's like, how are you approaching it? Are you willing to work on it, right? Are you willing to accept what the perspective people are saying and work on it, right? And I do feel like Mecca's trying to do that. However, he's not all in on her, and he's not choosing her, and he's not attracted to her, and it's like that sinks the ship. You know what I'm saying? I could work with Cameron. I could work with a Mecca, but you got to show up and be like in this thing, you know?
Yeah, I think there's actually a lot of not I'm not gonna say a lot, but they it does not seem like Cameron's issues are rooted in trauma. It seems like he actually has an issue with, like, he might just be more of a depressed person and he deals with depression. That's what it
Yeah.
seems like.
That's what I'm saying.
Because
It's
he
this
said like,
issue. I don't know what it's rooted in or whatever.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm just saying
yeah.
everybody's gonna come with their shit that's kind of like is something, you know? There's something
Yeah.
there to work through.
Yeah, but I think the difference for Cameron is whatever it is that he is dealing with, it is not a barrier to allowing one, Michelle to come in, right? But also two, him to display love and affection and show up in the marriage, which yes, you just said that, but I think for Mecca, the reason why it's like, you might not be ready for this is because Mecca is not seemingly understanding the impact that these big emotions and things like this are having, and the very big lift that Bella
Is doing.
has to have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Michelle, I think because we have mainly only seen her in this positive mindset, and like we haven't really seen her, I guess, have a tough moment. We don't know how Cameron is showing up for Michelle in that way, so I would like to see that. But we have seen the moment where, at the very least, the whole night out thing, when it was time for Bella to speak up, she couldn't, because it immediately went back to Mecca and his trauma and being afraid of getting in trouble or whatever, per se. And so I think that's the biggest thing. It's like, because Bella has such an emotional lift, there's no space for her. I can't necessarily say you're wrong in terms of like there might be a double standard, because we just have not seen it with Cameron and Michelle, but it does not seem like it is so impactful to the way they're able to love and care for each other and like show up in a marriage. I also think but Cameron has a little bit more self-awareness of the impact that his sadness has had just overall in his life. And it seems like it spews into multiple domains of his life. That's why I feel like it's actually could be possibly clinical depression versus like there's this trauma where your lens of life is so vastly different from what is happening right around you, and you're detached from it the way Mecca shows up, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I can see what you're saying in terms of like the beginning piece of what you were speaking of, but I do think that bar for bar, like they're very similar, like in the sense of depression. Like the trauma isn't his fault. The depression isn't his fault. The trauma colors how you view things. The depression colors how you view things. And Michelle and Bella are showing up as cheerleaders. But I do agree with you when you said in the beginning that like Cameron's issues do not seem to like stop him from giving love or giving, like you said something like basically Michelle is getting the shit. She getting the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but I
she's
think, like I
getting
said,
it.
that's partly because Cameron has like her. We've said this before. Like he likes her, he chooses her, and so I think even
Yeah.
in one of the episodes, Cameron was saying, "I'm scared." Like in one of the earlier episodes, I'm scared of this. But what actually gets me calm is that I actually like being here with you. I think when he was talking about the airport, he's like, "I like being here with you. I like this, and that's calming me down. If it wasn't this, I'd be running for the hills." And so I think that's the difference that we're seeing. Had he been paired with like Kate, what's her name, Caitlyn, or what's her name, Courtney. Had he
Courtney.
been paired with one of them, that side of him that's like, something in here ain't, we would have seen that. And maybe we wouldn't love Cameron the way we do because he wasn't matched with the right person he was like all in on. And so I think that the way Mecca feels about her, like attraction wise, matters, and how he's allowing himself to give her what she needs, because it's like he ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got it. Not saying because of the trauma, but because of the level of whether he's sexually attracted to her, whether he's like into her, it's not there the way the way that it looks like when your cup runneth over, of like, oh, I'm here for you. He's not spilling over into her because it's not there in him. So he's like at his little 80% that he said, or 60%, whatever, and he giving her that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where he is. So I think that to me is the thing, the nail in the coffin is the attraction level, because I don't think it adjusts in terms of men, the way men view women. I don't think it's I think that's the issue for them. That's what sinks the ship for me. And I think he's trying to work on the trauma stuff. And so, but overall, I think we do feel like at this point,
Maybe, yeah, I'm with you.
we
The
off it.
ship
I
has
do think
sunk.
he is cocky. I think cocky. You said before that you didn't think he's cocky. I think he is. I think he's insecure and cocky. I don't think that they're mutually exclusive. I think that he's cocky on the shit that he feels secure about, and all the other shit that really is like fully the whole picture of him, he's insecure about the whole picture. The shit he is secure about is he think he look good. That motherfucker think he look good. He ain't got to get his hair cut. That's what he thinking. He thinking he ain't got to get the braids
Crazy
done,
work.
retwisted, because he
Crazy
thinking
work. Keep putting that damn hat on your head. Go get your head done,
because
okay?
he think he got it with regard to that, and maybe
Yeah.
that's what he got reinforced on growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like my little brother got asked to the prom 4 times in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Like some of these girls be out here giving them these guys their flowers, right? So he may have gotten reinforcement on that, and so he feels like I'm secure on my body and my looks, and he's cocky on that. But everything else, the whole picture, he's insecure about. So I think both can be true, I guess.
Yeah. I do too think that both can be true. I think for him though, that insecurity is just so up there.
Yeah, no, for
Um
sure. Let's talk a little bit more about their conversation though. In the beginning, like Bella dropped some stuff, and it is interesting when you talk about Mecca taking up all the space in the room. He done took up all the space in this conversation because Bella says she out here eating toothpaste as a child. Like she's out here
Yes.
having trauma, and we ain't even talked about it. So let's give Bella a little
Yes.
moment to talk about what was
Yes.
going on. Cause yeah,
Yeah, my girl been through it, okay?
Yeah.
She been through the mud for real.
No,
You know what I'm
facts,
saying?
facts.
Like, yeah, and I hate to like even compare their experiences because they're both not healthy
Yeah.
childhood experiences that have been full of
Yeah.
neglect and basic needs not being met.
Mm-hmm.
However, I would have loved Mecca to give Bella some more emotional space for when she dropped that. You know what I'm saying? Because that is not Mecca's experience. You know what I'm saying? Mecca comes from money, from what we see, so his
Yeah.
needs, his basic needs in terms of survival were provided for. He would may have not seen a family dynamic that was healthy, but he did not have to worry about his next meal
Yeah.
and the lights being on and being clothed and showered and things like that. And from what we saw in the conversation, because of course I'm sure it was cut and screwed, it just would have been nice to even acknowledge, like, wow, for you to have gone through so much and for you to still be the type of person that you are, who's willing to stand by me. You've clearly, processed this, fought through it, because she also did not have her father. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So they're
Mm-hmm.
aligned in that. But Bella has this extra layer of shit
Mm-hmm.
that she also went through in her childhood that is like, Mecca's like, oh yeah, I just, like, I'm like, no, this is the time where you champion her, where you
Mm-hmm.
cheerlead her, and you say, wow, how amazing that you are who you are. And he can't even do that, because to him, he's just like, oh wow, yeah, we do are so similar. We both
Mm-hmm.
had bad childhood. Like, that's the moment to not make it about you,
Yeah.
Mecca. And that's why I'm just like, all of it is a nail in the coffin. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is not a process for him at this moment of time in his life, because he has a lot of shit to work through,
Mm-hmm.
where it just would not be a reciprocal relationship for Bella. And I think at some point she would get tired
Tired.
and drained, because he has a long runway. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He one of the people that I'd be like, yeah, you need at least 5 years of
Mm.
therapy minimum. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot to unpack and work through, and you can't rush his process.
Yeah. I mean, I will say this as a whole, because there's just so much that was in this conversation, even on his side, like the whippings, peeing through the whippings. I'm like, now I did get spanked as a child. I'm not like gonna
Yeah, me
knock
too. My
spanking. You know
parents
what I'm
still dead
saying?
better rise for the child.
Yeah.
Okay.
But at the same time, there is a fine line between abuse
Yes,
and
most
and
definitely.
whatever. Like, if the child is peeing on themselves, like, that's when we stop. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no,
That's what
yeah,
that's. I mean,
absolutely.
that's not even saying that's when we stop. Like, that's the line of what's good and what's not. I'm saying that it's a clear stop. You don't need to
Yes.
be whooping. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to be doing that, because there's some emotional shit, and it takes me back to the dad. That's how I hear all of this stuff. It takes me back to the dad, and then I wonder about the mama. I just in my mind just now. Before we had me and Victoria be having pre-talks sometimes before we get on the mic, and it made me think, like, warnings of other people, like why people run or why people leave. I'm like, I wonder if the mama was just like, I got to get the fuck up out of this bitch, because the daddy, I don't know what's going on with. And I'm not trying to excusify her leaving, because anybody leaving their child is a problem. I wonder if the dad is so insufferable that she was running, because there's something about that daddy that I'm just like, I think he is
Hmm.
the beginning and the end to all of Mecca's problems. You know what I'm saying? That mama
Yeah,
might have
no,
run because
most
of the daddy.
definitely.
You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
all his shit happening. He can't get close to people because of the daddy. His insecurities because, like, you need a mother's touch. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Mamas are very important. Dads are good, important too, but you need that mama's touch.
Well, I will also say too that a lot of things that happen early in childhood can be the developmental trajectory of a child in terms of like mental health, academic challenges, all those things can be mitigated through just love. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so that seems to be something that Bella was afforded in her
Mm-hmm.
situation, is that despite all of these things happening, she had a mother who loved her. And we see that they have had, at least from what we see from the wedding episode, they have a positive
Yeah.
relationship with each other. And a lot of the things that she says does not stem from her mother not being able to show up. It stems from the situation that
Yeah.
they were
Lack of
in based on
resources.
circumstances and lack of resources, right?
Mm-hmm.
For Mecca, although he did not have his mother, it could be that longing that he had for his mother, him being jealous
Mm-hmm.
of his siblings, him, um, being jealous of other friends who had their mother. Could have been because that household he was in
Mm-hmm.
was fucked up. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And so him not having him, other people seeing other people who had a mom, for him maybe he felt like if I had a mom, I would have been saved from this situation.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course this is just a large assumption. We don't know. We weren't there, and that necessarily hasn't been discussed.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
For sure.
but yeah,
And it's like
yeah, like
also,
I feel for both of them, but
yeah,
it's just like it's
it's a
just again, I just go back to this is just not an appropriate experience, and I feel like whatever the pre-conversations are and the pre-assessments are, like I just feel like it's on the experts, I think, to just have a little bit more
mm,
responsibility or clinical intuition, clinical judgment to say whether or not this is something someone should be in, especially when you know at the end of the day you are still trying to make TV,
yeah,
right? And it's harmful, I
yeah,
think, to put someone who has had this type of experience in childhood out to the world. It's the same thing with Edmund in Love is Blind. You know what I'm saying? Like
yes,
it's irresponsible to put them out there when you know developmentally they
mm-hmm.
may not be mentally ready
Yeah,
for something like this,
yeah,
let alone being in a situation to be responsible and um just ready enough to
to,
have a wife.
yeah,
Like, come on. Like, let's be fucking for real. Like, this shit be pissing me off because it keep happening to these black men and black women, and
yeah,
it's frustrating. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I be like, let me get up in that bitch, okay? Because every red little digger I see, I'm asking questions about it. Like, I
Yeah,
don't know how y'all are missing this shit. Like, y'all
yeah.
be too. It's too. We too worried about
Making good
like
TV.
making TV.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You can find good personalities who
Mm-hmm.
make good TV and also are ready and willing for love. I feel like if I was on the show, baby, I'll give you some good TV. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have a good time, but you also not about to embarrass me on national television. Like
Yeah.
that is why I absolutely draw the
You know,
line.
one of the things I was realizing as you were talking about him not being ready for marriage, I think that my like for them in the beginning and like throughout this process before he is like expressing he's not really that, I guess, attracted to her. My like has been more for like, oh, I could see them as a couple dating and the synergy be there. But as we talk about, like, this is a marriage thing. Like, that's two different things. Like, liking them to be like a couple that can work through something or whatever as a dating thing versus plopping into a marriage are two different things. And I think that I didn't think about that until just now as you were saying that. Like, I do, because I agree with you that this is not quite good for him as a marriage, but I was also being like, I could see them if he was attracted to her. Like, I still feel like that. If he was attracted to her and he wasn't all, if he was attracted to her, I think that they could have worked through it. But as a couple in like a dating scenario versus marriage, where you're locked in.
Yeah. And something that is so interesting now is like at this group dinner they had, they talked about how they made a collective decision to say yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's before the bomb was dropped that we know of, at
Yeah.
least in the order that it was shown to us,
Yeah.
that he was saying that he wasn't attractive to her. So I'm just like, Mecca, if you were feeling this way, or maybe he feels like in his mind, because like I said in the preview, he talking about her getting her boobs done. So maybe in his mind he
But
felt like, oh, after the yes or something, he could bring it up, and maybe she would be open to getting some implants. Like, oh God,
somebody brought that up though. As I realized in the memory, it wasn't him. He didn't say it, but someone said that, like
no, he
Adam,
did say it.
huh?
Somebody asked him, "Is she your dream girl?" He said no, and he brought up getting boobs done.
No, no, no. I think somebody said, well, maybe she could get her boobs done. Are you 1,000% sure? Because
I'm not 1,000 because now I'm questioning now
because I
that you
think
saying
somebody
that.
did. Because I remember thinking like I was like that. I remember rolling my eyes at like it was either Adam or Felipe, and either of them, I could see myself rolling my eyes at them saying something like that because I was like,
Yeah.
why are we bringing this up as an option? and he considered it. So I'm not trying to like take the weight off of him. I'm just trying to say I do think someone else said it. I think that he
Okay.
was like, yeah, I mean that's an option. Like he was like, that's an option or whatever. And it's like it's not an option
Crazy.
actually. And she brought it up out of her mouth as something that she wants to do for her. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? For her life.
Yeah.
But yeah, they both said their yeses. It's given Bell. It's given Bell might be a no. I think next week we get in the final I do's or I don'ts, and I think Belle's gonna be a no, and I'm not mad at it for her
Yeah.
because, like I said, I'm not trying to say that looks are the most important thing. I'm not trying to say that, but I remember one time I was trying to make it work with somebody that I was like, but he's such a nice guy, and I wasn't really there, and my dad and my mom were just like, ah. I think that there's something spiritual about attraction. It's not necessarily that you got to be like the most, like it's 100% attraction, but it's got to be something that you're like, I can work with this. I can work with this, and there's got to be some spark, some draw, and my dad was like, because when things get tough, you gotta have some sugar that you like. Yeah, this is I like this.
Like, bring your fine ass over here, even
Yeah,
though
you
I'm
gotta
mad
have.
at
You
you.
gotta have. He said because it's gonna get tough. Your life together is gonna get tough. So you gotta really feel like there's sugar. But it's like if you start in without the sugar, in the tank of
Right.
like the sweetness of the relationship, it's just like, you know.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
she's gonna be a no. I think she's a clear woman as well.
Yeah, I would in this next batch of episodes like to see her speak up more. I would like to see her not necessarily stop protecting him, but I would like to see her own her feelings in this process and not be so. I think she's so true to the like we a team
Yeah.
and I'm not going to misstep or speak poorly on you or do anything that could. I don't know. I just like, just be open, be honest, and
Mm-hmm.
what's there, Mecca? I need to know truly, I mean, Bella, I need to know truly how she is
Feeling.
feeling about things and how things are happening in their relationship and not just in a way of, I don't know.
Uh
I feel like she's like just responding to moments almost and not
huh.
talking about her experience that she's having, even in her confessionals.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I could see that. I wrote down here my notes. I don't quite remember it, but the experts were saying that every time you feel a thing, express the thing. Was that the guy coach saying that, or am I?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and she seemed uncomfortable to that
yeah. Because
when he said
I
that.
do think there's something to that. What you're saying about her not expressing things. I'm not a huge 1,000% believing that she's trying to protect his image or whatever. Like I think it's plausible because like you said, we do that as black women. Sometimes we're like trying to not tarnish their, for the culture. We're trying to keep it cute. But I'm not 100% convinced that that's why she's doing it. But at the same time, I think she's uncomfortable expressing her feelings, and I think that you are right. I actually would change my view, my opinion on an earlier episode. You were like, he takes up too much space, and so there's no space for her stuff. And I do actually think I agree with you now. Do you think that may be why she is not expressing what's going on for her because there's not
Hmm.
room? I do see that, I think now, in a way that I did not see that before. But I
Yeah,
thought that was a good thing for the experts to say. One of the things though, the experts don't be sticking on them long enough for me. Like I want us to get in there, get some deeper work, and they don't stick on them
yeah,
long enough. And I don't feel like we ever have enough resolution. Especially like last time, I like the choosing her aspect. I think the whole session could have been done a little more gently, but I like the fact of call out the thing. The thing is the lack of choosing, and she's chosen you. And I think here there we could circle back to that because we could circle back.
well, they did. They asked her, "Are you choosing him?" Um, but I will say, I kind of put a little bit of that, like not sticking on them enough, and like the dynamic because Bella keeps it cute. Like she did mention it, I
Mm.
think in this group session, she said, I, told myself I did not want to have to initiate everything in a relationship. And I think that
Yeah,
was
she
her
did say
kind of
that.
saying, again, what we've been talking about, or me, that she has been
Oh.
that she has been having to direct and take on a lot of the emotional pull in
Mm-hmm.
this. And when somebody says, I do not want to have to initiate, I think that means I don't want to have to keep leading shit in this relationship, but they did not
I,
dive
into
into
that.
that enough for me.
I wonder though, and I guess I just see it like a little differently. I wonder if she's saying, I want, I don't want to have to initiate these moments of signaling that you're attracted to me, you're in this, and you choose me. That's what I read it as, because she's always talked from the beginning, like, I'm gonna let you lead, like I'm gonna lean back, and she wants those
Yeah.
signals from him. And I think that when I heard her say she doesn't want to have to initiate things, I thought she was speaking to those signals. Like, and I think he's not initiating those signals because he at 60-80% on his attraction to her, and it's like you want
Hmm.
something from him that ain't in him. It ain't
Yeah.
overflowing with, like I said before, attraction. So that's what I took it as. But if she's speaking to other things and like emotional, then I'd be like, oh, okay, that is something different. I just, what the way I read it was a little bit more about the signals. But yeah, that's probably why she liked the gift so much, because it's like this is him
Yeah.
showing like, hey, I'm initiating that I care about you. I'm here, or whatever, whatever, whatever. But
Hmm.
yeah, the gift, it was cute. It looked like it was in her style. I'm like, was that was that a name brand? I don't know. I'm not a name brand girly, but I'm like, was it?
Yeah. It's so funny you said that because I literally, as I was watching it, I was just gonna text you Marc Jacobs and Christina Herrera. I was just gonna like just text that to you and like just let it sit and then see if you picked up on it as you were
Oh, is
watching
that
the
what the
show.
the bag was?
Yeah, the bag is Marc Jacobs and the perfume I believe is Christina Herrera.
And
That's
that's
the
that's
name,
that
but
that's good shit. Good shit.
yeah, good. That's good shit. That's good shit. The perfume, especially a lot of women like that perfume.
Ah.
The good girl. I don't know if that's very good girl or good girl, but it's the one. I don't know if you've seen the bottle, but it's like a stiletto.
Okay. Yeah, girl. I don't
Yeah,
I don't do the fragrances too much. I'd like to, but the fragrances have toxic shit in them,
yeah. They just
so
yeah
I'll be trying
hormones
to
and
stay
structures. I
away.
be wearing the hell out of that shit. Um,
Yeah, I like nice, like clean scents, or like brands.
yeah.
Like Michelle Pfeiffer has a brand of scents that is like certified clean or whatever. I think it was Michelle Pfeiffer. It's one of them.
Oh, I need to go look into that.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
but
yeah,
yeah, I definitely don't do a lot of and then I'm also just not a name brand girly, but to each his
yeah.
own. I don't knock it.
I can be.
No, no, yeah, you like the fashion.
I'm
That's
not
what
gonna buy it,
you
but
said.
I
What?
want my man to buy it for me. I
Oh
said I'm not
yeah,
gonna buy it, but
yeah,
I want my man to buy it for me.
yeah. But yeah, I think that's all I got on Mecca and Belle. And I'm
Yeah.
like, Belle gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? She gonna be all right.
Yeah, she's definitely gonna be all right. She one of the ones I was telling my friend. I was like, we need to sign up for Married at First Sight because at the very least, a lot of the times the black women they go on these shows and then afterwards we see them popped up married with somebody else and they be good. So I was like, at the very least, it might give us some exposure to the good
Yeah,
men out there looking for a good woman,
yeah,
and
that's funny.
it'll be all right. But yes, to that, Bella will be all right. I'm sure there are men in her DMs, and she is most definitely, I think she's a great woman, and I can't wait to see what her love life looks like in the
Hmm.
future or now as soon as they drop the end.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're gonna have a reunion. That would be nice if they did. I think they
yeah.
have a
They
lot to
they
talk
gonna have a
about.
reunion. They had a
So,
reunion last year. Remember?
okay, yeah, they have a
Yeah.
lot to talk about and break down, especially with all this bullshit. They low key got more to talk about than a typical Love Is Blind season, in my
Right.
opinion.
Right.
They gave us some shit with
I
this.
know they did. The one thing I was going to say about Belle is that the one thing I wanted from her in this, and we spoke about it a little bit, but I wanted her to vocalize right then and there, right. This is a problem for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we could talk about it later, but the fact that you keep bringing it's a problem for me. And maybe she got to gather
Yeah.
her thoughts because she's shocked as fuck by the fact that this man would
Yeah.
open his mouth, say these things. But I feel like she needs to be vocal. Like I've said this before, women got to be vocal about shit, and I think she
Mhm.
needs to clearly when they go home, not no sulking, not no. It needs to be like, so what's the deal? Are you
Yeah.
you're? I mean, she did come quick. You're not attracted. You weren't.
Yeah.
She did ask the question. She may just be processing, but I need the conversation at home, the conversation on the ride in the car, or whenever, as soon as possible as you are able to gather your thoughts. I need it to be put on the table, because at the end of the day, if that's a requirement for you, that man be attracted to you, because it ain't gotta be. You know what I'm saying? We see Sean. I've had men come to me like, I understand that you're not that attracted to me, but I would. They still want to be here, and I'm like, well, I got to figure
Mhm.
out if I want to be here. You know what I mean? So some people, it's not a thing, but if that's a thing for you, Bella,
It's definitely a thing.
yeah, I'm like, I don't know a woman that
Is
ain't it
Bella
ain't a
too
thing.
fine for it not to be a thing? You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Yeah.
she's a baddie,
So
a
yeah,
baddie.
she's very gorge.
But anywho, anything else in this episode, or this couple, this episode?
Yeah, no, I think that's it for our Mecca and Bella deep dive. Make sure you check out our other parts to hear about the other couples, and we will catch you for next week's drop of episodes.
Bye.
Bye.